So welcome everybody back. So I'm very honored to have a dear friend, Lama Lodu Rinpoche from Kagyu tradition, based in San Francisco. And as I'm introducing Rinpoche, you will see a slide there. And then most importantly, there's a website there. So I think there's a lot of things that you can learn about Rinpoche, his activity, and his centers around the world. So I very honored, and I wanted to welcome and not take much time. And Rinpoche, and touch the lid. This one, yeah, so thank you. Yes.
Well, I am very thankful and this opportunity provided by the Geshe Wangyal Rinpoche, who is a well-known teacher in the world right now. Yes. I'm thankful having this opportunity provided by the Geshe Wangyal Rinpoche, who is the well-known teacher in the world. And so I have, he allowed me chance, and I would really from my heart to thanks. As being I am grow and early age start Buddhism, as we have many Buddhist tradition, but I belong to the Kagyu lineage due to my family and where I born, and so I started with the Buddhist practice, and I have some little practice and about Buddhist Kagyu lineage, and so most in the world right now is very much know about Kagyu because Kagyu is pretty much well known as well. But I will say remark a little bit. Kagyu is how he bring this teaching to in Tibet from Nalanda University, India, and the great master Tilopa, and who was direct received the teaching from the Lord Buddha Shakyamuni, the tantric form, the Vajradhara, who received teaching directly from Vajradhara to the Tilopa, and Tilopa passed down to Naropa, and then the great master and Tibetan scholar and translator Marpa, who came to India to receive the teachings and live in India for some time to study language and grammar, literature and philosophy. It's a different kind of teaching of the Buddhism up all the ways in Tantric Buddhism. So he accomplished through the scholarly and accomplished through realization. He came to Tibet to bring this teaching to Tibet and start teaching into the Tibet, some region called, we call Marpa Kagyu, but that means his family name is Marpa. So up to his family name become the lineage, adopted by lineage, so Marpa Kagyu. So he's the one first this teaching bring to Tibet, this lineage, and then from him to his disciple Milarepa, which is again a well-known great meditator and poetry. And so he's the one of the direct disciple of the Marpa. And then that he's live in the mountain, renounced completely from the world and practice as in the mountain and solitude. And then he passed down his teaching to Gompupa, and the Gompupa received direct transmission from the Milarepa. And Gompupa also received the teaching from the Kadampa traditions, which is the Dipamkaras, who is the Indian Bangladesh He's born and he studied all over the India. So he's the one great scholar in Nalanda University as well. So he came to later in Tibet and teaching to in Tibetan people, Tibetan lineage. And that's Kadampa lineage we called. And he, Gampuba, started teaching early with his tradition. And that Kadampa and this Mahamudra tradition of the Kaju combined together. We call two big rebirth joined together in one. So how we call Kacha Chu Chigdil. So then since then, the Gampuba is the one mean focus to all the Kajupa, because he is the one produced more disciple and lots of monastic tradition. And then he has 4 disciple. One of these, His Holiness Karmapa, Tuzum Kempa, and he was the one who received teaching from Gampuba directly. And that is among the many Kaju. This is one of Kaju called Karma Kaju. So I am study early age with the monastery of the Karmapa in Rumtek Monastery. I learned many different things, which is when early age, being you are in the monastery, you have to study all. So I tried that, but I cannot say I am the master of that. So then I met a different great teacher. Some of the teachers are more interested to practice more Dharma and put into practice rather than learning in scholarly. But one of my teachers, very great. So he was the one who I have received the teaching post when I was early age. But this teaching is also including Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. And so these, of course, in Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana tradition are similar, and all of them same, but it's each of the different lineage have carrying different kind of cultural, and not cultural, spiritually different way, the tradition of the melody, singing and dancing. And so all these are a little different, that way the name become different. But actually focus on basically renunciation is in general Buddhist practice. Plus, you have to have renunciation quite firm and stable. And then you have to have some kind of sense of the devotion and competent to the path. And then you can get the mind of practice, which we can adopt to the bodhicitta to benefit all sentient beings. And then this teaching is very important in general, all Buddhism, that's the same things we follow and same. And then we have the tradition like creation stage and completing stage, and which is all the lineage have that. All the lineage have following the creation stage. But based on you have to have renunciation and bodhicitta of the Mahayana, and then you have to have practice of the creation stage. But before you get into the Vajrayana creation stage, you must have to have the receive the empowerment from the qualified teacher, and who have capable and have completely master of that, so who can give initiation. That initiation is very important, which we call ripening disciple mind by the receiving empowerment, giving empowerment. Then Doljegitik, we call it, was also the liberating mind of the disciple by the explaining and commentary of what initiation you're giving. Then Japtingi Lung is kind of supporting the ripening and liberation, both supporting by the scripture authorization. So this is the kind of, I think, all tradition goes same way, and our lineage doing the same things that way. But specifically, we are focused in Kajupa, our tradition go to and creation stage. When we have certain point, then we practice this 6 yoga of Naropa, we call, which is involved lots of very detailed and authentic practice, and also a little complicated if you're not ready. That can be bring the complicated and obstacle. If you're ready, then will be the just kind of ready to go. They're non-stop. So those are in the 6 yoga practice is what we apply the final goal of the called Mahamudra realizations. So this is you can go through the sutra point of view, the Mahamudra, or follow the sutra. That's where you go, but it takes a time to you accomplish the goal. But the Vajrayana and Tantric point of view, you go to goal is more quicker because method is we use as a 6 yoga of Naropas. And so this is including like Tsalung Tigli, Tsalung Tigli. So those are the very important we use that too. But it's how much we use and not use is up to individual. But there is an authentic teaching and lineage is there. And so this teaching is very important. We apply to realize the goal of the Mahamudra. And Mahamudra practice also, we have many different way to go. We call these different stage, if you go to 6 yoga of Naropa to apply to attain the goal of the Mahamudra, then you may not need to go the 12th stage of the Mahamudra. Because that is also, when you do this 6 yoga of Naropa, you are quite qualified to get the teachings, instruction, a special way to guru to disciple. So that could be not necessarily going to the 12th stage of Mahamudra. When you go sutra point of view, then you have to go 12th stage of Mahamudra, but each stage has so much to do there. So that is the kind of how approach to our practice from beginning to end, kind of long story make short, so to speak. But I am also following that same lineage, but I'm not qualifying because I would not say I don't do this practice, because then I'm lying to you. But I did practice. When you ask me, did I have accomplished this? No, I didn't accomplish. But I hope to, and I'll not give up. So my own experience is kind of so little, but the kind of subject to what I have to go is the big subject in front of me. So this is how this our lineage could be, followed that way. This is the kind of Kaju lineage come from the Marpa, Mela, Ngombupa, and Karmapa, and all the Kajupa follow the same system like that. And so there is also called Shangpa Kaju. The Shangpa Kaju is not including the Marpa Kaju. It's Shangpa Kaju separate. And with Tibet, we call 8 chariot. When you talk about 8 chariot, Shangpa Kaju is listed separately. Marpa Kaju and Shangpa Kaju separately. But the rest of the Kaju, what we know in the world is all the Marpa Kaju, Marpa, Mila, Gombupa, there's up to the Gombupa then become more Kajupa there. So, but then count into the, and Jamgyong Kontu Lodu Thais, what he has a system, he make, there's 8 chariot. So that 8 chariot has the Marpa Kaju and Shangpa Kaju, they separate listed. And Shangpa Kaju is also, Shangpa Kaju is very much authentic lineage also. And it's also come from the India, but it different. And who came from Tibet to India, that is the Chungpo Neljo. And Chungpo Neljo is one of the great scholar and a master who accomplished, and he was quite interesting being, according to his story. He was born as one family, and also he was practicing one religion. And not only practicing, but he was truly accomplished by a scholar and accomplished the total Pon system. And pretty much their own point of view realization is completed. And so that is the one of the Chungpo Elders we call, but he's a family from Pon and he practiced Pon. Then later he also practiced and studied with Nyingma. So Nyingma also here was very scholarly, law and philosophy, and also put into practice all his Pon Dzogchen system is completely he completed but then he also practiced another lineage. So he did it, go around in different places. He practiced a different lineage of all the religion in Tibetan religion. Whatever religion in Tibet existed, he go through all in practice. But somewhat he was 50 year almost that time. Then he didn't satisfy some reason he wanted to go to India because Buddha born in India and Buddha has performing his activity in India. So he believed to be something he wanted to find more deeper and to learn more and deeper that he could make presenting to the people who doesn't know things. So he came to India. He stayed in India 50 years and study language and sculpture and philosophy. And he has 150 different teachers. He received the teaching from 100 different scholars and Mahasiddha yogi in India. So he was also and direct received the teaching from the Dakini Niguma in Sukhasiddhi. It's special that he has communication and connect with them. So both of Sukhasiddhi and Niguma, both of them feminine, teacher and Mahasiddhas, and they both has been communicating with the Buddha Vajradhara through their relationship has been completed and perfected. So they have communicating with the Buddha Vajradhara, receive teaching direct and fresh from the Buddha direct to them. So these two great feminine teacher passed the teaching to the Khyungpa Neljo, and who has received this teaching from directly from those wisdom dakini. Then he learned all these different teachers, that kind of method, training, so everything. So then he came back to Tibet, and then he presenting the teaching into the Shang region in Tibet near Lhasa there. He started, and so he beginning teaching there. He was a well-known teacher and very accomplished, truly accomplished yogi. So he was the one that the Shangpa lineage bring from India to Tibet. The name of Shangpa is that he studied and he practiced and he kind of produced his disciple from that Shang region. This Shang is the one place name of the city or place region. So he had started teaching from that area. So and that teaching came from that area. Then the name of the place become the lineage. So Shangpa Kaju. So this is the kind of another Kaju stream. So I have been fortunate enough to receive this both Karma Kaju, 6 yoga of Naropa and 6 yoga of Niguma. And so I have received the instruction and teaching everything that from my great teachers, which I early studied with His Holiness Karmapa, 16 Karmapa in Rimtek, but the later Karmapa sent me to Kalurumbuchi to study with him, receive the teaching. So I received the both tradition of the Karma Kaju and Shangpa Kaju from Kalurumbuchi. And so I have some little experience both, but I have, as I'm saying, I'm not intelligent and wise person, and so I'm lazy. So I received this such profound teaching, and I do not utilize them because of my laziness. On the early age, I'm crazy and lazy. Both affect me, but the teaching is still live and very fresh. And so I'm speaking here. So not only the Karma Kaji me here, only the Karma Kaji in the world all over, Shangpa Kaji in all over the world too. So lots of great teachers of Shangpa Kaji. There are lots of great teachers of Karma Kaji. Of course, lots of great teachers of the whole school. Nyingma, Pen, Gilok, and Secha, Chonang, and all of these have actually, when you meet different lineage together, we can see everybody holding very strongly the lineage pure, without any kind of stain and defile them, and purely this lineage are very much alive. So whatever karma we have opportunity nowadays in the world. There's all this school is in the world now, so you can take opportunity to whatever karma you may have one can liberate you from this completely from samsara to the nirvana. And so that means completely you're free of suffering and attain a state of the Buddhahood. But up to all, problem is our ego. But our ego is mainly keeping us in suffering and pain and confused. And our ego is make strong emotion, anger, desire, proud, jealous, and so on. So this ego producing this poison keep us not to helping ourselves, and not to allow ourselves happy, not allow ourselves peace, calm. And also then that case, we are helpless ourselves, we cannot contribute to anything in the society and people outside. So this all caused by our ego, that ego producing so strong negative emotion, such as those different poison, mind poison. So mind poison is the most against our will. So this Buddha Dharma, whatever this religion teaching you, is to watch your ego, reduce your mental poisons. And more your ego is lesser your ego, that your emotion, mind, mental poison is less. Then you have little room for peace in your mind. But a stronger ego and a stronger mind poison, a stronger suffering and pain and confusion for you. So the Buddha, teaching of this religion, what contribute you is that watch your ego and to reduce those emotions and bring some kind of space in your mind, have some peace and calm. Then you begin notice there is kind, there's loving, there's compassion, there's peace. Then you can see this peace need to be in the world. Then you begin to wanting to be sharing this peace to other. That's where you learn. So this all the religion, what are we talking about, different lineage today, it is all lineage have, each and every one has their own way to bring a sentient being to the peace, to the completely remove our ego to be attain the state of the forever lasting happiness, I would say. So that is the kind of what is important message to be we need in this world. So I hope this is my broken English making information doesn't go maybe correctly, and I have to apologize any things that mistake there. If something have any way to piece of the information helpful you, and please don't be ignorant, try. So more. Okay. So I think so. I myself also try that day by day. I try to, whenever I can bring back my mind to be on that stage, to bring my mind to peace and calm. Try to my ego to slow down, my ego to be not too so strong, and contribute myself suffering, confusion. So I watch myself time to time because that's all I can do. And I can see sometimes very difficult, but I end up always, I'm thinking, good heart is everything. Be good heart. Whether you're religion or religion, you have good heart. That good heart is planting seed to you have some peace sooner or later. And also in good father more deep into understanding of what the cause of your peace, So good heart is the more key point, I would say. We have so many techniques, there are many things. Sometimes many techniques, many different ways to make confuse. Be good heart. That's all I think so I want to say. The good heart is nothing precious than anything in the world. So try to be good heart and be mindful to good heart. That's my information today. And thank you very much, especially Geshe Wangyal Rinpoche. His heart is special because I think we need more people like him. Then it will be lots of open eye to many people. And I meet him, I talk to him, and even today what he doing is I am quite amazing because he have lots of other things to do for his own, for his many disciple, and he has lots of things to do his own activity. He's very well-known teacher, but give time for us to these opportunities. Also, something you have to do with your ego, how slow and gentle. That is, I see, my way to see he's a good personality and a great value for this world. And thank you very much to the, eminent teacher like Geshe Ongyal Rinpoche, and thank you very much. Okay. Yes.
How was it? Do you say? It's okay. Yes, I can do it. I think it's okay. No? A little bit? Okay. So, Lama Lodu Rinpoche, thank you very much. So we very appreciate to come all the way here. And so next, I want to introduce Orgyen Chowang Rinpoche, also a friend. And Khen Rinpoche is from Eastern Tibet, from Sertha, and also a student of the great master Jigme Phuntsok. And Rinpoche has been now about 20 years in the West and teaching. And also now your new book is coming soon, Shambhala publication. So keep eye on that. So of course now there's a lot of things again to talk about Rinpoche, but I think as you see on the screen, there's a website, pristinemind.org, as you can see there. And so I think when you have time, learn a lot and all the activities and the teachings. So I will, not take more time. Please welcome Rinpoche. Take the water. Sure. Sure. Yeah, this. Oh.
Kunga jarzong tai mangom kesan zamban dong tra yong. Chan hui zo zen drak sai wen do keng me ki dat se ker. Jin da ma ken ne ki rong jik teng sun ji kong cha pa. On pa ma karo je pe te rong da lu pan sur chong. Orgyen Chowang pa mi dong bo la. Ya wen nang tu rong shong len ji to. Chan ze hui shen yong dan zang bai wen. Pan mang jong ne da lu pan sur chong. Chu ken nyam ba ni ji jiang yong si. Dong nong kuk sum ro ro zar zo ba. Zhe don min gong bo lang chen ba. Zhe me o zer jiao la su ran de. Rik tong jem per jiu ni shen lev le. Gong be hong ne po pik te je ter. Long stok chung zu jam zu ngav dong cho. Ma pung jiang yong nam jar la su ran de. Ne chen ro zing yi jiang kam si. Jam per tik jiu shen lev ya lar men. Jing me pen so jiao la su ran de. Gong je to ban pur shen ji lo. Then today welcome for everyone this special occasion, and this is opportunity is my friend Geshe Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche asked me to come here to talk to the online, and I have very happy to take this opportunity for Lama Lodu Rinpoche, Geshe Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche to participate in these events. And then I say, thank you very much. And then I say, there are many different kind of audience listening. Also, I say thank you, your listening or contribution, and also participation. And today I want to say a few words, and it's I'm come from the Nyingma lineage, from the ancient Tibetan tradition, Buddhist tradition, from the Ngoro Rinpoche Pamma Sambhava to most Buddhist teachings, particularly the Vajrayana Dzogchen teachings brought to Tibetan, and they call it's called Nyingma, means old translated school. I belongs to that tradition. And today I want to say a few words about that. And I don't have much time, only just 15 half hours, something like that. I don't have much, we don't go to, let's talk about stories. And Ngoro Rinpoche Pamma Sambhava's teachings most is called, everything central point is called Dzogchen. Dzogchen is, there's 3 different kinds of Dzogchen traditions he brought. Indian, Pamma Sambhava is important, and there's Lodzawa Berosana is very important, and then there's another is Panchada Bumalaminta. These 3 masters brought 3 different kinds of Dzogchen lineages. One is Bumalaminta tradition, Buma, heart essence, Bumala Dzogchen teachings. There's Ngoro Rinpoche Pamma Sambhava's teachings, Buma, Ngoro Rinpoche Pamma Sambhava's teachings, there's essence, heart essence, Pamma Sambhava. There's mind class teachings brought from translator Berotana. And these teachings are the fundamental teachings of Nyingma tradition practice. Then I want to say today what is this teaching's meaning is, how to help our lives. Usually, this teaching's most important is how to can transform every individual's life, and this moment and moment to death and beyond, and how everyone is living fully and dying with fearlessly, and what is most important in individual's life. This is most important is you have perfect mind. Perfect mind is you have the perfect mind, you have the perfect experience, and also you have perfect life. Life is not depend on circumstances. Life is always depend your mind. And therefore, we have many ways people achievement, happiness, fulfillment, or enlightenment cannot reach with conditions. There must be transform your mind. And generally, these teachings, like what is the main point is how to transform your mind. I think that's more, bottom line is how to transform your mind, and then how to transform your life. 2 things, Then first thing is, like I say, people, there are many ways you transform your body, like exercise, diet, can, like you doing the exercise regularly, you eat the right diet, and slowly transform your body. That's everybody knows. But also we need to know how to transform your mind. Same is like that. How to transform our mind is through practice meditation. Practice meditation, I mean meditation is like just only word, but I mean what kind of meditation you do is, meditation is the most important one. Is meditation, there's 2 different kind of meditations of the Buddhists to teach. One is meditation with the object. The other is meditation without object. These two things can transform people's life, you know. Therefore, and these two things, one is what is the first one is the first one is the you know, right now our mind is very busy and, you know, chaos, confused sometimes, and sometimes very emotional, sometimes very moody. And it's all over the place. It's very difficult. You know, most people have depression, anxiety, and loneliness and sadness, you know, sadness and, you know, like unhappiness, you know. If you have these things, how do you transform that chaos mind, all these experiences? The number one technique is the meditation. Meditation can transform your mind, become unhealthy mind to healthy mind. You know, also unenlightened mind to enlightened mind. Then is that means how do we reduce negative thoughts, emotions? You know, how do we can reduce negative thoughts, emotions? That's first question. And which can reduce? And when any technique can reduce negative thoughts, emotions, have the, you know, can good experience or transform the mind. There's not much, the more you involve external conditions, you know, like you see something, hear something, go after something, the more distort your mind, more pollute your mind. Therefore, Buddha mainly says beings are suffering because their mind is polluted or distorted, you know, like, and therefore we know everybody's mind is polluted, therefore they are suffering. I think we need to know that, you know, like, that's the reason we are unhappy. That's the reason we are sadness. That's we are wandering samsara. Then that kind of pollute mind also, and distort mind and unhappy mind, how to transform it? But that's really all, but the Dzogchen teachings come from that. Dzogchen teachings say, you know, like what is really our fundamental message is what it says. The message in number one, it says, your mind is innately pristine. You know, like sky's blue, you know, completely pristine. Water is fresh, you know, unpolluted. Similarly, your mind is innately pristine. And once you say your mind is innately pristine, and the second message says, the thoughts, emotions are just events of mind, not who you are. You know, the second message says, if these two things, if you experience, that can transform your mind and transform your life. And the first is, I think, all, you know, sometimes called Buddha nature, or sometimes called, you know, natural mind, but doesn't matter what it means. You know, all human beings, everyone's mind is innately pristine, you know. Then how do you know, you know, like your mind is innately, you don't know. We don't know. My mind is not pristine. My mind is chaos, complicated. But people always, you know, say me or other people. But if you don't meditate, you don't know that. Problem is, if you, and as long as there's clouds in sky, you cannot see the blue sky. Similarly, as long as your mind is distorted and, you know, like so many thoughts, emotions going on, you don't know your mind is pristine. You know, the Dzogchen teachings are talking about how do you experience that? You know, how do you introduce your mind is innately pristine? I think that's really are. And that really, how do you know? And you need to meditate. When you meditating, what's like that? Because meditation is what like that. Meditation is when you meditating, thoughts, emotions slows down. You know, the frequency, thoughts, emotions slows down. When your frequency, thoughts, emotions slows down, then you experience your natural condition of mind. For example, as long as there's clouds, you only see the clouds. You cannot see the blue sky. When clouds are slowly dissipated, what's left is blue sky. Similarly, when you through meditation, your mental, emotional events slowly vanished. then when they vanish, what's left is the pristine mind. And then once your mind is pristine, and then every area your life changing that. And I think Dzogchen is talk about how we can experience, introduce everyone has pristine mind. And then everyone realize their mental events are not who you are, they're events. I think that's really are the fundamental message. And, you know, like we are talking about Dzogchen tradition. That's really our, you know, that's really are the key to happiness and key to enlightenment and key to every moment you have living pristine experience. And then what is this teachings are like most important teachings are Dzogchen teachings are like for not just only a few people, but everyone can experience that, you know. And then I think meditation is very important. Meditation, Padmasambhava says, you know, if you not follow past, you're not anticipating future, you just stay in present moment, then you experience your natural state of mind. I think that's really our, you know, like I just want to mention a few things. Also, Tenzin Wangyal mentioned about the book, you know, like I reading book about this subject of they call Our Pristine Mind, practical guiding to unconditional happiness. It's about, you know, how every individual can experience their own pristine mind. And then once you have there's two different minds. One is pristine mind, there's ordinary mind. You know, ordinary mind is, you know, mind is distorted, complicated, you know, like needy and egocentric emotional mind. You know, everybody lives right now. Everybody's, you know, live with that experience, they call ordinary mind. And therefore, we don't know, we never know our mind is pristine. Then once through meditation, we experience pristine mind, then we switch gears with pristine mind. And that means we are living with pristine mind, and we are walking with pristine mind. We are dying with pristine mind. We are eating with pristine mind. And that's really are the goal of the Dzogchen teachings, you know. Dzogchen teachings are like, right now what we do is every day we just talk with the distorted mind. Our mind is distorted. We go into dinner, and then other people's mind is distorted. Two people talking each other is not fun because their mind is so distorted. Sometimes they have not fun because mind is, you know, distorted. But if you have the pristine mind, both has pristine mind, I think people more enjoy their dinner or walking, you know, like having relationships, working. Every area is transformed. And that's really I say, you know, they call it 6 bardos, you know, 6 bardos of it, they call Tibetan Book of Dead. You know, like it's in Guru Rinpoche Padmasambhava's teachings. And the main point is talk about this point is Tibetan Book of Dead is what is talking about is there's called natural pardo, means living pardo means you can during this lifetime you're born until you die, called living pardo. And what you need to do is live with a pristine mind. And then meditation pardo means introduce your mind is innately pristine. How do you experience? You know, that is called meditation pardo. And then there's another dream, you know, Sanktan pardo. Mulam pardo means when you have experienced this moment, your pristine mind experience, how do you can maintain that during the dream? during the dream we have chaos, but not just only lost into hopes and fears of dream experience. How to maintain that during the dream? They call that dream pardo. And then it's the other is it's a dying pardo. People die many horrible ways, sometimes fearful ways, sometimes uncomplicated ways. Most people, I've been many times people dying. Many times they're not Buddhist practitioners, but then when they die, they ask me to come there to talk to them. And then people don't know how to handle, death. Really don't know how to interpret. But the fourth one is dying pardo, means how to die with pristine mind. When you have mind is pristine, then your death is pristine. And then it means like that's the entire Tibetan Book of Deaths information is how do you can die with the, like very pristine and calm, non-complicated way. And because when moment to death, our mind is distorted, so much negative emotions, hopes and fears, the mind is lost into that hopes and fears. And that time is what is Tibetan Book of Dead suggestions, Ngara Rinpoche Pama Samba suggestions. That moment to death is you need to have pristine mind, stay pristine mind. And then when you stay pristine mind, there's no hopes, there's no fears, there's no attachments, then just pristine experience, bring pristine. And pristine experience bring pristine, that means you moment of death, your mind is pristine, then you journey into pristine state. And that is called pure land. The Buddha rooms is pristine. Your mind is polluted, that called samsara, and then you produce more pollution. And after you die, a moment you die. And then your mind is pristine, and the moment of death is beautiful. After you die, consciousness, go beautiful place. And that's called Padmasambhava 6 bardos, called the dying bardo is, maintaining that pristine. That's very important. And then after that, is, when you after die, and then it's maintaining two different parts, like a natural bardo, the others bardo becoming. I don't want to go details, but that just came out when we talk about Dzogchen. And then these two places also are very important to maintain your mind is pristine. But entire meditation goal is, what is the goal of meditation is become tranquility, your mind, again, tranquility, stability. Tranquility, stability is a source of happiness and fulfillment or enlightenment. As long as your mind is, chaos, restless, and there's no happiness, is momentary, just comes, it depends circumstances, Mainly our human beings, our mind is, like, happiness is circumstantial, because people are happy because circumstances are good. People, when circumstances go down, people are, unhappy. Therefore, when you talk meditation, spirituality means seeking unconditional happiness. And it means happiness, but unconditional. Therefore, I think, and all this, today, like many people watching, listening, I think that number one of goal of spirituality is having pristine mind, finding unconditional happiness. I think that's very important. Therefore, people should recommend it, like continually investigate this way, also make priority to, finding unconditional happiness or having pristine mind. We have many different goals, but all goals are just temporary, like it's just temporary, momentarily good. There's English expressions, I like this very much, like instant gratification, all our happiness is instant gratification. That's it. and going gratification fade away, we are feel lonely and we are feel nothing, like, then what is really our spirituality or meditation is beyond instant gratification, go beyond that, we found unconditional happiness. I think that's really we call these teachings, particularly Dzogchen teachings. It's very talk about that, how to go beyond momentary happiness or instant gratification, and go beyond unconditional happiness, which is awakening your own nature of mind. And that really are the little bit about Dzogchen teachings from Guru Rinpoche Pammasambhava about India to Tibet. And he has the fundamental message is, like that. I think that's what it doesn't matter, everybody's, he says, mind is innately pristine. And, I think we need to know that. We need to know, we are obligated that, like whether or not, just meditate. And then you can see your mind is polluted innately or pristine. That's really we want to try. Therefore, we have found in happiness many different ways. We always traveling, going to vacations, mountain climbings, many different places, but you cannot find happiness. Then at a certain point, same old. There's not much you can do, really. But now it's time to go, internally. Really, you go internally. There's a code, if you find happiness within you, you find in happiness everywhere. And that really means if you awaken in your mind, if you experience your pristine mind, I think you find happiness every moment, every thing, because mind is awakening, then everything's awakening. The mind is distorted, everything's distorted. And that really means, what we do is, here, Geshe Tenzin Wangyal and Lama Lodu, or we do is everybody found, unconditional happiness and also having pristine mind. And that we are, dedicated. And I think this is very essential about Dzogchen teachings. And also Dzogchen teachings are like, from it's very important Guru Rinpoche Pammasambhava, and also Hong Chenpa's teachings. And also Hong Chenpa's teachings also very much 7 treasures. Also, this is also an essential address about these teachings. But today I just, without, complicate, I just put, more essential, everything's put, translate to Tibetan into English, for everybody can, experience. The Dharma, these teachings are not just, some religious, dogma. This is the, way to happiness, enlightenment. Someone says, how do I can avoid pain, unhappiness, and negative emotions? How to achieve happiness, performance, enlightenment? How to transform? And then you needed to practice these principles, like realization. Realization means you realize your fundamental nature, realize your nature of mind, or Mahamut or Dzogchen Bao, they talk about it. And realization, you need to have realization, means perception. You need sophisticated perception who you really are. And then it's meditation, means maintaining, meditation is 2 things. One is, like shamatha meditation means watch breath. And watch breath means you're calming down your mind. And when you're calming down your mind, and you gain stability, tranquility through meditation. And then Dzogchen meditation, what's a Dzogchen meditation is? Dzogchen meditation is once you realize your pristine mind, then you maintain with your pristine mind, journey deep into pristine mind is called Dzogchen meditation. Dzogchen meditation is not a form object, not, focus any conditions, but more remain in your pristine mind. That called Dzogchen meditation. And then realization, meditation, a good heart. And a good heart is, like, what is good heart? Good heart is 4 components. There's good heart. Good heart meant love, compassion, joy, and partiality. And there's 4 categories. And 4 categories of good heart. If you develop love, love means, like sincerely, like wish for others, for they have happiness and causes conditions happiness. Your sincere wish. It's not like most people think of happiness, love is attachment, but that's the ordinary definition of love. But really, really universal love, and like unconditional love means for sincere wish to happiness, friend, family, for everyone. That kind of love. It's very important to have that kind of love, and then your perception is imbued with the love. You perceive world that way. If you don't have love, your perception is, very ordinary, a little bit more disconnect. But when you have love, your perception is connect with the world. Therefore, love and compassion. Compassion means you want free from suffering, conditions suffering for others. You have that kind of sincere understanding, wish. They call compassion. Compassion is not pity, but like sincere wish other people have, free from suffering, condition suffering. You have that kind of perception. Love is feeling, also perception. You have that kind of perception, then you have compassion. And then rejoice means you rejoice other people's happiness, success. And partiality means love and compassion, rejoice. You want for everyone equally, without biases, prejudice, and that is called impartiality. And then good hearts made up these 4 components. And you have good heart, that you feel connect the world, you feel enjoy, you see everyone, feel very different. You have sophisticated perception, like that. And that means when you have developed good heart, 70-80% problems are disappear just having good heart. And that's really on. Then these 3 principles, there are many principles, but I have said 3: realization, meditation, a good heart, transform your mind. And once your mind is transformed, and then transform your and others' life, you just not only transform your life, also transform others' life, who you contact or connect, these people. And therefore, here we are talking about today is the transformation of the human life, and also transformation of human mind through realization, meditation, a good heart, and through the Dzogpa Chimbo teachings, and special I will talk about a little bit Nyingma teachings, and also how do we how do we these teachings can contribute human happiness and fulfillment, also reach enlightenment. The enlightenment says, if you have the right condition, enlightenment is very close, but you don't have the right condition, enlightenment is far away. Therefore, Dzogchen is the best way to attain enlightenment from this lifetime. Okay, thank you very much.
That's okay. What? No, so thank you everybody, and thank you Lama Lodu Rinpoche and Orgyen Chowang and all the audience. And so next the webcast will be in July 11th, basically Saturday, from Paris. And so from Paris, I'm not sure if anybody around Paris or somebody there who is willing to help with the webcast, and maybe you can contact with the French Sangha. But if not, maybe I'll manage by myself. Thank you, everybody. Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
Kirtan for everyone.
Thank you.